Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, share it with a friend. Thank you very much. And on to today's order of business. For months and years before I even had this channel, I would talk privately amongst my New Jersey Devils fan friends, and we all shared a very common sentiment. And that sentiment was that the New Jersey Devils were too focused on finesse, speed, skill, and that we didn't have any of those character, depth, physically punishing gentlemen. We sorely lacked toughness, grit, sandpaper, etc. Now, there's a lot of people that believe that that doesn't matter in today's NHL. I wholeheartedly disagree, and I think we did need to add some toughness in this offseason. In an interview after the season, General Manager Tom Fitzgerald said that he thought the forward group was a little too vanilla. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, I like what I'm hearing. I think Fitzy finally realizes that in addition to the insane amount of speed and skill we have at the top of the lineup, we also need some of these guys that are going to come out there and play the body and punish people and make us just an overall tougher team. We saw it countless times last season, us just getting smacked around, and it was honestly very discouraging and disheartening as a fan. So when I heard Fitzy say we were a little too vanilla up front, I thought that was a possible indication of things to come, and it gave me some hope. However, a couple weeks ago, during an interview with TSN, Fitzy said something that made me very optimistic, and that was,
get a little heavier, get a little edgier, a little more violence.
The motto going into the season was, get heavier, edgier, more violent. Music to my freaking ears. When I heard this, I went nuts. I was like, yeah, Fitzy's going to do it. When he said that, I was like, that is what I want to hear. That was kind of an upgrade for me from we were a little too vanilla up front to straight up saying we need to get heavier, edgier, more violent. I was like, I was all in. You guys know I was talking about it, for at least a few weeks from when he said it. And Fitzy's one of these guys. He's the gift that keeps on giving. He first gave us big game hunting, then he gave us the gauntlet, and the newest chapter of his one-liners to me was the heavier, edgier, more violent. I went crazy. And so what did Fitzy do leading up through the draft and NHL free agency? What did Fitzy look to do? He looked to fulfill his mission. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished for Tom Fitzgerald on that front. Heavier, edgier, more violent. And let's just go through the acquisitions in the order we received these gentlemen. A trade was made. Not a lot of people were happy with the actual trade package. That's a topic for another day. It turns out that Holtz really had no value on the market, which is unfortunate. I would have liked to see him get a little bit longer of an audition process under Keefe, but that's water under the bridge now. Him and EDGIER get shipped out to Vegas. In comes Paul Cotter. Paul Cotter, born November 16th, 1999, a 24-year-old gentleman with a height of 6'2" and 213 pounds. This man is scrappy, likes to play a physical game, and he's going to add some of that grit to the bottom six. And then what does Fitz do to follow that up? He makes another trade, bringing in defenseman Jonathankovacevic. Jonathankovacevic, born on July 12th, 1997, soon to be 27 years old, coming in at a staggering 6'5" and 223 pounds. Another man that will use his body on occasion. On occasion, and look at the size. I mean, wow, 6'5", 223 is a very large man, and love to see it, and I definitely like to see it on the blue line. Love to see size in the defense, and hopefully he gets even nastier than what he's been prior in his career. Hopefully he develops an even nastier streak. And then what does Fitz do after that on July 1, free agency? What does he go out and do? Brendendillon. Brendendillon comes in as another defenseman to replace the departed Kevin Ball. Born on November 13th, 1990. This 33-year-old man stands at a staggering 6'4", coming in at 225 pounds. And now I'm starting to get excited. You know, I really wanted Zadorov and Tanev. That wasn't in the cards, but I could live with Dillon and Pesce. Our defense is going to be much improved. Markstrom's in the net. I'm super jacked for next season. But to see a big guy like Dillon come in that definitely embraces a physical game, heavier, edgier, more violent. We added another guy like that in Dillon. And then as the grand finale on this front, Fitzy signs former New Jersey Devil Stefan Nason. Stefan, come on down. Born on February 12th, 1993. This 31-year-old man stands at 6'1" and comes in at 205 pounds. Also embraces a physical game. I always liked Stefan Nason. Was glad to see him return. And I think he's going to be another guy that could do a little bit of everything in our bottom six. Love to see it. So now, Fitzy goes out and gets those four guys, 2 defensemen, 2 forwards, some big boys that are going to embrace the physicality, Neanderthal hockey at its finest. And the average size of those 4 guys, average size, is 6'3", 216.5 pounds. And again, size matters, guys. Size definitely matters. This is a physical, violent sport. People are out there playing for keeps, and this team was way too soft. Entirely too soft. I've said it for years. I've said it for months and months on this program, and it had to change. It had to change. Fitzy went out and did just that. He did just that. And in terms of physicality, just to take a little peek at last season, we look at the Devils hit leaders here, and our man Curtis Laser Lazar leading the team in 179 hits in his 71 games played, followed up by the recently departed Kevin Ball with 151 hits in 82 games played, and then Bastian with 143 in 54 games played. Brendan Smith, also the recently departed, 117 hits in 63 games. And you go down the list. Timo with 111, the banished Mike McLeod with 101, Hall in 93, Palat 92, so on and so forth. I'll leave this graphic up for a second. I'm not going to read them all. But the hits for the Devils, severely lacking. After a lot of games last season, I would do a rundown, and the stats that I talked about quite frequently were hits and block shots. To me, 2 of the most underrated stats in the game, and to me, that is the telltale sign of a team or players truly dedicated to winning. Ugly stats that matter a lot. Hits and blocked shots, and a lot of times after Devils games, when I was doing the recaps, I would talk about how 12 hits, 9 hits, 13 hits for a team for a total game is unacceptable and not going to get it done. Definitely not going to get it done. And we take a look at team hits for the 23-24 season. This graphic actually cut off at 25. I didn't even bother including it. The Devils are at the very bottom of the league. I couldn't even see exactly where they were because this page is a pay site, but they were somewhere between 25th and the very bottom. So I think the point is well received there that the Devils at the basement of the league in total hits. And what do you know? Numero uno in hits on the season. The number 1 hitting team in the league, the Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. You guys going to tell me that's a coincidence? I don't think so. And then you look at the top 8 teams. Panthers 1, Bruins 2, Maple Leafs 3, Canucks 4, Preds 5, Islanders 6, Lightning 7, Golden Knights 8. What do all those teams have in common in the top 8? Do you know what they have in common? They were all playoff teams. The top 8 hitting teams in the league were all playoff teams. Hits matter. You need to be tough to play against. And obviously, there's other things other than hits. Obviously, I'm not saying go out there and hit everybody and your team's going to be great. That's obviously not the case. But in conjunction with skill, with speed, with playmaking ability, with goaltending, everything involved in the game of hockey, hits definitely matter. And you see it reflected here. The top 8 hit leaders teams in the league all were playoff teams. And 12 of the top 20 were all playoff teams. So, again, to me, this just confirms what the eye test should have shown most of you. And if you watch this playoff run, you saw a lot of physicality from the first round all the way through the Cup Finals. Physicality was on full display on the nightly. And the Panthers are a tough team. They are a tough, tough team to play against. They salvaged that series against the Oilers. They found a way to get it done after blowing those 3 games in a row. They got it done in Game 7. So I'm sure you're sitting there thinking, well, Ace, how much do the new guys hit? Great question. Great question. And how much do the new guys hit? They hit a lot. Let's just pull up. This is the individual hit leaders for the 23-24 season. What do we see here? Absolute poetry. In one offseason, we went out and got 2 of the top 17 hitting players in the entire National Hockey League, my friends. Oh, that's another applause worthy. Brendendillon checking in at number 10 on the list with 242 hits in 77 games played. It's right around 3 hits a game. And Paulcotter with 233 hits. He's 17th on the list in 76 games played. Again, that's roughly, it's a hair over 3 hits a game. And you absolutely love to see it. Love to see it. 2 of the top 17 hitting players in the league are now wearing New Jersey Devils jerseys. And again, what more is there to talk about here? I mean, wow. We did lose the hitting of ball, but we add in Brendendillon and Paulcotter, 2 of the most frequent hitters in the league. Absolutely love it. And then we go to the other guys. Not nearly as physical in that department, but Jonathankovacevic, 75 hits in 62 games played. That's well over a hit a game. That would have put him kind of in the middle of the pack on last year's Devils team. And Stefan Nason with 119 hits in 81 games played. That's roughly 1.5 hits per game. And that would have put him in the top 5 or 6 of the Devils last season. And so when you look at the body of work, I have to say, it's something that a lot of us here on the channel and Devils fans abroad I've seen constantly talked about is we do need to get nastier. We need to get more physical. We need to get harder to play against. We had a lot of battles last year where we just got smacked around, and it couldn't happen again. Fitzy saw the need. He went out, and he addressed it, and boy, did he address it. 2 of the top 17 hitters in the league are now wearing New Jersey Devils jerseys. Absolutely love to see this. I think this is going to translate into a much better team next season, in conjunction with the other moves. But Markstrom and net, love it. Pesce and Dillon on the blue line, going to shore up that defense for sure. The kids, Nemitz and Luke, are going to be a little more protected. And I think our bottom 6 is going to be really good. I really do. There's a lot of people who are negative all the time. I'm definitely not trying to be one of those people. And I think overall this team is much improved. We're going to see more physicality, and you combine that physicality with the skill we already had, with a healthy lineup, I think this team's going to be able to beat you multiple ways. And a couple of commenters, they called it the hybrid. I like that. I think you will see a hybrid of that rush transition game combined with those ugly grind-them-out type wins, where we just got to play smash-mouth hockey and win some tight 2-1, 3-2 type games. I think you're going to see a little bit of both. But the fact that we do have that hybrid is going to be very nice. It's something that has been sorely missed for years. We were one-dimensional, and when the speed skating situation gets shut down and they start pounding on us, a lot of times we wilted and died. It is not going to happen this year. Heavier, edgier, more violent. The mission has been achieved. Props to Fitz on a job well done on that front. And I'm very happy with this roster going into next season. I think we're going to have a great year. I believe we're going to compete for the division. And I believe at a minimum we win a playoff round. I've said that in a previous show. I believe we win at a minimum a playoff round. And if things go our way, we get hot at the right time, I believe this group could win a Stanley Cup. Yes, I believe this team could win a Stanley Cup. Much improved defense, much improved goaltending.
Get a little heavier, get a little edgier.
Improved bottom 6.
A little more violent.
I'm talking about the top 6 winger. It didn't happen. Maybe we buy at the deadline if we're looking like a threat in the playoffs. Hopefully we buy and maybe could get someone there. But as it is, I think we are a much better team, and I'm pumped for the season. Let me know what you guys think about any of this in the comments. Anything Devils hockey, throw it out there. But heavier, edgier, more violent. It is coming to the Rock in October. I am jacked for it. You should be too. Throw anything out there in the comments. Love talking to you all. Thank you for watching. If you're newer to the channel, poke around. Check out some of the other videos. There's a lot going on in the summer, heading into the new season. And I'll be here. I will be here. Ace will be here. Talk to you all very soon. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's Go Devils.